and it is election season. Forum for Service Delivery will be fielding 13 mayoral candidates to contest local government elections. That's in the Northwest Province. It is the fourth biggest party in that province, in fact, with 29 of its members winning proportional representative seats in various councils. Its election manifesto promises a whole range of things, including to fix potholes, keep clinics and libraries open for 24 hours a day, and to provide free Wi-Fi. Let's unpack the story now. We're joined by the Mahikeng candidate, that's Phumla Kgasi, and the JB Marks candidate, Romeo Matjila, will be joining us a little bit later on. Phumla, let's begin with you this morning, and I think perhaps important for our viewers who are not in the Northwest, perhaps not in the know about Forum for Service Delivery. Tell us a bit more about your party.
Good morning, Michelle. Good morning to viewers as well out there. Forum for Service is initially it's 80% service delivery orientated and 20% politics. It is actually a movement of communities, and which is very concerned about ensuring that services are delivered to the communities at large.
You've done quite well in the past, 29 of your members winning proportional representative seats in various municipal councils. Is it perhaps harder this time round, given that the elections are taking place amid a whole range of restrictions that come with the COVID-19 pandemic?
I beg your pardon, Michelle. Can you please repeat your question?
How is the COVID-19 pandemic impacting campaigning in the run-up to these local government polls for your party?
Michelle, it has done a great impact in the sense that we have been unable to interact with the voters throughout, and then we could not make much in the communities due to the regulations, because better part of the time it had created uncertainties about voters and us, of course. It would not always be easy to interact, as one would not always be certain about the condition of health of voters. And one other thing, the reason that we could not interact with is where we could not hold meetings as it pleases us. It made it very difficult for us to put our message across.
Phumla, the election manifesto for Forums for Service Delivery is an incredibly long one, just in terms of the kinds of deliverables the party is promising for voters for the 2021 local government elections. I mentioned a few in the introduction. It talks about providing free quality water, introducing a dynamic housing list system, rebuilding ward-based economy for the creation of job, making every basic need free and accessible in a province that has been so dogged by maladministration and corruption. These are big promises to make. How deliverable are they?
Michelle, I do not really think it's big promises, because obviously that's basically what the masses are looking up to. Those are the basic needs that are needed by the people on a daily basis. And how are we going to be achieving that? Fact of the matter is that we need to be very certain of our. We must be constant. We must ensure that we take heed of the Financial Management Act. We must abide by it. We must ensure that there isn't any corruption that would be executed by Forum for Service Delivery, which we actually very certain that none of us, as our president always emphasizes on it. We are anti-corrupt, Michelle, and with anti-corruption, I think that every promise would be easily deliverable, because each and every one of us we would want to make sure that we are going to outdo all the other municipal authorities that have been before us. Because we have as well been seated here being very frustrated, observing with paining hearts how we see how service delivery is failing throughout the municipalities. Service delivery is very close to our hearts, We are therefore going to ensure that we outdo all the other authorities that have been there before us.
Phumla, with respect...
And we are certainly going to hold everybody accountable. We are going to put up a mechanism of reporting, constant reporting, so that we don't give any chance for corruption to prevail in between.
Phumla, with respect, and Romeo Matjila, your colleague, has now joined us for this discussion, and perhaps it's a good time to bring you in, Romeo. He is the JB Marks Forum for Service Delivery mayoral candidate in the Northwest Province. Romeo, your colleague talks about your election manifesto as Forum for Service Delivery. We've been talking about the fact that it makes widespread promises, and let's be clear, you know, election manifestos are, in an ideal world, this is what political parties would like to deliver. They are also, on another level, quite a bit of politicking insofar as what is actually deliverable. So let's go through the list. Making every basic need free and accessible. Let's talk about that one point on your election manifesto. How is that going to be possible financially?
Thank you very much, and thank you to the viewers, Michelle. Look, Michelle, we as a country, you know that, let me speak on the money that was wasted and that we keep on wasting on useless things, on corruption, the money that is keep on stolen in our country. I like that you said financially. How is that going to be possible financially? We have to cut some of the things, Michelle, to prioritize basic services. To prioritize basic services and cut on useless expenditures that we are experiencing across, all municipalities, provincially also, and on your national level. We have to cut on certain things, the luxuries that our ministers are going through, and make sure that we feed the ground, which is your local governance. Feed them and make sure that the finances are prioritized for basic services, because that's where you have basic services. So I think it's much better for us to make sure that we prioritize in order for us to make sure that we attain the goals that we need to attain in local government.
Romeo, in terms of the Northwest Province in general, one of the provinces in the country that's been incredibly hard hit by corruption, millions lost to corruption, in fact, under the previous Premier, Job Mokgoro, in various municipalities. You know, for a party like Forum for Service Delivery, how do you get to the bottom of an endemic issue like corruption? You've got 29 of your members in various councils in the Northwest Province, but how do you, on a governance level, get to the bottom of the scourge of corruption in the Northwest?
Look, Michelle, we are on the ground. And unfortunately, we see the impact that this corruption in the province is making on our people. We see it on the rate of unemployment that we are going through in this province. We see it on simple basic services that this corruption has caused, the harm in our people. And what we are planning to do, if you can look at our manifesto, it's a grassroots level. It doesn't speak to big issues. It speaks to making sure that we attain things for our people locally. But in terms of the corruption that is so rife in this province, we will make sure, Michelle, that we introduce people that are elected not directly only by political parties, but by the communities. That is what we are doing now as a party, directly by the communities. And because the community will give you the right candidate. The community makes sure that they elect the right candidate that they trust and who will be accountable to the community. So that's exactly that we will be doing, and we will be addressing issues at the provincial level, even if maybe we don't have seats at the province, but we will put pressure on province and make sure that the new premier adhere to resolutions that we are taking in council, the resolutions that we are taking on our IDPs and with our community on the ground. We will make sure that we put pressure on them and change the situation in this province.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time left, but I want to talk about your particular municipalities. You are two mayoral candidates. Phumla, you're in the Mahikeng local municipality as a mayoral candidate. Tell us about the challenges that are specific to that municipality and what Forum for Service Delivery is hoping to do there.
Michelle, as we have indicated earlier on, we are bombarded by potholes all over the show. There's garbage in every street corner in Mahikeng. The quality of water is really terribly bad in such a way that consumers in Mahikeng municipality are used to buying water. It is so normal, it hurts that they are paying water at the municipality, but at the same time, they have to utilize the little money that they have got to still buy water. And there are quite a number of buildings that are dilapidated and that are rejected in the locality, which needs to be fixed according to Forum for Service Delivery. Those buildings have got to be, they have to be fixed and they have to be utilized efficiently. So what we intend doing, for an example, we need to, we want to turn those dilapidated and rejected, ignored buildings into skills development centers. We want to as well formulate market-like areas where we would get most of the youths that are gallivanting in the streets to utilize them for small business enterprises, like selling your vegetables, doing something to increase or to improve the economy of the country in Mahikeng.
Okay, Romeo, Phumla, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you there for now. Romeo, I want to bring you in just a few seconds as the candidate for JB Marks Municipality. Give us a sense of what you can bring.
Look, first thing first, it's an obvious case that our officials in council, politicians are corrupting that municipality. We want to make sure that we deal with the issue of corruption. We want to make sure that we bring the right kind of leadership that will address issues head on. And we want to focus on making sure that the town is clean and back to its former glory, particularly in terms of job creation. We want to also make sure that we focus on our JB Max business people and make sure that contracts are given to these people so that we can have the local economy created, so that we can have the confidence back in this municipality.
To both of our guests, thank you so much for your time this morning on the show. The Forum for Service Delivery fielding 13 mayoral candidates to contest the local government elections in towns and cities in the Northwest Province. Phumla Kgasi is the candidate in Mahikeng, and Romeo Matjila, pardon me, is the candidate at the JB Marks local municipality. To both of you, once again, thanks very much for your time.